Oh, yes, family, blessed love. Of course, we're definitely giving thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Yeah, you're definitely in the nest, the tiger's nest. Of course, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. We're going to have a nice moment of a sit down. I'm going to be bringing you something from the archives directly dealing with the Emerald tablets. How many of you know about the Emerald tablets that has said to be have said to be written by Tahuti Thoth? Some say it's Hermes Trismegistus, but anyway, we will be getting into the mystics of that in a very short moment. Again, this is from the archives, but let me just remind you, of course, the 28th day of November 2021. Prepare yourself for a wonderful online lecture. This is the latest lecture, the earliest one, I should say, in our series of online lectures. And this one is going to be dynamic. For this one will be presented by myself and the Honorable Princess Acacia Menin, who's definitely preparing herself for this one. All the research definitely has been done and it's just about, preparing and organizing everything. PowerPoint, make sure you bring the young ones. They're definitely going to full enjoy this. Again, this is Sunday, the 28th day of November, 2021, 7 p.m. sharp. Where are we gathered for this one? It's an online lecture. All you have to do is contact us for sure. Remember, the admission is only $15. When you contact us, you get your electronic ticket, and definitely that will bring you straight into the lecture hall. Remember, you could get an early bird ticket if you buy your tickets before Friday. I think that's tomorrow, the 19th. This is the last day for this. If you buy your ticket Friday, the 19th day of November, you will definitely get it for only $10. But if you don't get it by Friday, you'll still get it for only $15. Trust me, family. I mean, you don't know how it is. Online lecture, definitely the information and the inspiration is way beyond the value of that. And of course, all you have to do is contact us, email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Visit the website. Of course, that's how you get the radio. Anu, priestisaacinstitute.com. We're definitely looking to see you in the lecture hall. Remember to bring the young ones. We're going to be going into all the mighty empresses of Africa that stood on the front line, the warriors, the battle axes. Yeah, that would take down all the European kings. It's going to be something that you will definitely full joy. So contact us. And remember, this evening, we are right there on the Tiger's Nest. Remember, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Tiger's Nest live and direct, 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, right on Radio Anu International. Hey, and remember, if you're not a subscriber, because I know people are saying, boy, I missed the Tiger's Nest last night. Boy, I didn't get it Monday. Hey, if you are a subscriber to the Tiger's Nest, pennies a day, cents, like you got 50 cents every day. What about 40 cents? Well, if you have 33 cents a day, my family, you could get the Tiger's Nest every single day. You get it in your inbox via the email for sure. And definitely that will be yours. And even if you listen to it every night, it's still good if you definitely become a part of the Tiger's Nest. All right. Now, as I said, the program that I'm going to prepare for you right now, it's from the archives of the Shock of the Hour. And we were going into the whole aspect of the Emerald tablets. And I asked before, how many of you know about the Emerald tablets? How many of you know about the book of Thoth, and the mystics of the Emerald tablets? Well, tell you what, I'm going to give you a little rundown on that now. Just fasten your seatbelts and, tell me what you think about this one.
That itself
here.
is
Okay, that's
the
me.
whole transmutation stuff.
Let's check this out,
Gets
family.
very deep when it relates to um, even communion and these different things. The text of the tablet is written in the Phoenician alphabet using ancient Phoenician character glyphs. The tablet states its author as Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes, the thrice greatest, a legendary Hellenistic Hellenistic combination of the Greek god Hermes, please forgive me, and the ancient Egyptian god Thoth. Okay, but also now that's textually speaking. But as far as the tablets, let's just unravel this. This is very important. Although Hermes Trismegistus is the, oh no, pardon me again, the original source of the Emerald tablet is unknown. Although Hermes Trismegistus is the author named in the text, its first known appearance is in a book written in Arabic between the 6th and 8th century. The text was first translated into Latin in the 12th century. Numerous translations, interpretations, and commentaries followed. The layers of meaning in the Emerald tablet have been associated with the creation of the philosopher's stone, as well as with other esoteric ideas. So let us return to this again. Again, the text of the tablet is written in the Phoenician alphabet, using ancient Phoenician character glyphs. The tablet states its author as Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes Thrice Greatest. All right, a legendary Hellenistic combination of the Greek god Hermes and the ancient Egyptian god Thoth. This is what it's saying here. Despite the claims of antiquity, it is believed to be an Arabic work written between the 6th and 8th centuries. The oldest documentable source of the text is the Kitab Balanius al-Hakim Fil Lial and the book of Balanius the Wise on the causes, or the book of the secret of creation and the nature of reality. Please don't go anywhere. I have so much more in store for you. Written in Arabic between the 6th and 8th century. So we keep coming across this 6th and 8th century. All right, that's, 6th and 8th century. We're talking about 13 to 15 years ago, some 13, 12 to 14 years, 100 years ago, pardon me. 12 to 1400 years ago, 12 to 1400 years ago. Okay, and we keep coming across the Arabic. The book was first mentioned in an Arabic work around the same time, and it is said that it was written in the Phoenician language. But yet still there's claims that this book, we're talking to all the tablets, the Emerald tablets, please follow me good. The claims here that the Emerald tablet really, despite all claims of antiquity and all of that, and, Atlantis and the god Tahuti, it is believed to be an Arabic work, as I said, between the 6th and 8th century, and the oldest documentable source of the text. Here it is. We're just dealing with research, eh? The oldest documentable source of the text is the Kitab Balanius al-Hakim Fiel Lial. Yes, and that is the oldest documented, documentable source of the text. All right, fair enough. It says here, the volume is attributed to Balanius or Pseudo-Apollonius of Tyana. In his book, Balanius frames the Emerald tablet as an ancient Hermetic wisdom, He tells his readers that he discovered the text in a vault below a statue of Hermes in Tyana, and that inside the vault, an old corpse on a golden throne held the Emerald tablet. Who was that corpse? Interesting. Let's give a listen to this.
The history of the tablets translated in the following pages is strange and beyond the belief of modern scientists. Their antiquity is stupendous, dating back some 36,000 years BC. The writer is Thoth, an Atlantean priest king who founded a colony in ancient Egypt after the sinking of the mother country. He was the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza, erroneously attributed to Cheops. In it, he incorporated his knowledge of the ancient wisdom and also securely secreted records and instruments of ancient Atlantis. For some 16,000 years, he ruled the ancient race of Egypt, from approximately 52,000 BC to 36,000 BC. At that time, the ancient barbarous race among which he and his followers had settled had been raised to a high degree of civilization. Thoth was an immortal. That is, he had conquered death, passing only when he willed, and even then not through death. His vast wisdom made him ruler over the various Atlantean colonies, including the ones in South and Central America. When the time came for him to leave Egypt, he erected the Great Pyramid over the entrance to the Great Halls of Amenti, placed in it his records, and appointed guards for his secrets from among the highest of his people. In later times, the descendants of these guards became the Pyramid Priest, by which Thoth was deified as the god of wisdom, the recorder, by those in the age of darkness which followed his passing. In legend, the halls of Amenti became the underworld, the halls of the gods, where the soul passed after death for judgment. During later ages, the ego of Thoth passed into the bodies of men in the manner described in the tablets. As such, he incarnated 3 times, in his last being known as Hermes the Thrice-Born. In this incarnation, he left the writings known to modern occultists as the Emerald Tablets, a later and far lesser exposition of the ancient mysteries. The tablets translated in this work are 10, which were left in the Great Pyramid in the custody of the Pyramid Priest. The 10 are divided into 13 parts for the sake of convenience. The last 2 are so great and far-reaching in their import that at present it is forbidden to release them to the world at large. However, in those contained herein are secrets which will prove of inestimable value to the serious student. They should be read not once, but 100 times, for only thus can the true meaning be revealed. A casual reading will give glimpses of beauty, but more intensive study will open avenues of wisdom to the seeker. But now, a word as to how these mighty secrets came to be revealed to modern man after being hidden so long. Some 1300 years BC, Egypt, the ancient Kim, was in turmoil, and many delegations of priests were sent to other parts of the world. Among these were some of the pyramid priests who carried with them the Emerald Tablets as a talisman by which they could exercise authority over the less advanced priestcraft of races descended from other Atlantean colonies. The tablets were understood from legend to give the bearer authority from Thoth. The particular group of priests bearing the tablets immigrated to South America, where they found a flourishing race, the Maya, who remembered much of the ancient wisdom. Among these, the priests settled and remained. In the 10th century, the Maya had thoroughly settled the Yucatan, and the tablets were placed beneath the altar of one of the great temples of the sun god. After the conquest of the Maya by the Spaniards, the cities were abandoned and the treasures of the temples forgotten. It should be understood that the Great Pyramid of Egypt has been, and still is, a temple of initiation into the mysteries. Jesus, Solomon, Apollonius, and others were initiated there. The writer, who has a connection with the Great White Lodge, which also works through the Pyramid priesthood, was instructed to recover and return to the Great Pyramid the ancient tablets. This, after adventures which need not be detailed here, was accomplished. Before returning them, he was given permission to translate and retain a copy of the wisdom engraved on the tablets. This was done in 1925, and only now has permission been given for part to be published. It is expected that many will scoff, yet the true student will read between the lines and gain wisdom. If the light is in you, the light which is engraved in these tablets will respond. Now, a word as to the material aspect of the tablets. They consist of 12 tablets of emerald green formed from a substance created through an alchemical transmutation. They are imperishable, resistant to all elements and substances. In effect, the atomic and cellular structure is fixed, no change ever taking place. In this respect, they violate the material law of ionization. Upon them are engraved characters in the ancient Atlantean language. Characters which respond to attuned thought waves, releasing the associated mental vibration in the mind of the reader. The tablets are fastened together with hoops of golden-colored alloy suspended from a rod of the same material. So much for the material appearance. The wisdom contained therein is the foundation of the ancient mysteries, and for the one who reads with open eyes and mind, his wisdom shall be increased 100-fold. Read, believe or not, but read, and the vibration found therein will awaken a response in your soul. In cosmic harmony, Duriel, Supreme Voice of the Brotherhood.
All right, do give thanks again for the life giver and the keeper of life. Basically, you got an idea of at least an outlook, basically somewhat what we were saying, but a little more in depth as far as the foundation of the foundation of the Emerald tablets, according to some, because I would believe they would have different versions of where it really came from, because again, a lot of what has been said there, how much, pardon me, of what has been said can we put our finger on and say, well, yeah, this is a fact? All right, listen. We're dealing with the Emerald tablet. Now, you know who your brother is, eh? So, according to Balinius, he also frames the Emerald tablet as an ancient hermetic book of wisdom or tablet of wisdom. And he discovered this text in a vault below a statue of Hermes in Tyana. And an old corpse was holding on to the Emerald tablet while the corpse was sitting on a golden throne. And this tablet now, again, was mentioned in a book speaking of it. And this book itself was written in Arabic. But it says that the characters of the tablet was originally in the Phoenician language, which obviously is an African language, and so is the Arabic too. Eh? The language is very important here. We're dealing with languages. We're dealing with languages. So as far back as we are supposed to have gone with this Emerald tablet, we see it written in the Phoenician language, a very important script, because a lot of the Eastern languages said to have come off of the Phoenician script. Even Latin itself is said to have come off of the Phoenician script. So it's a very, very important script, a script that we have somewhat covered up and maybe promoted even the Syriac script to a higher degree, but it's not necessarily so. So the fact that this Emerald tablet is said to have been written in the Phoenician script, at least the oldest version that we can speak about, is very important, and that's, I would say, just 6 to 7 to 8, the 8th century or so, not too long ago. Well, that's a long time. That's about 1,200 years. Yeah, but this is said to be 38,000 years old. So when we subtract the little 1,000 years that we have been familiar with this stone or this tablet, we have just scratched the surface as it relates to how long the stone or the tablet has existed. So it has existed at least for 35,000 years, according to our knowledge, because it's said to be between 36 to 38,000 years. So we could say almost 40,000 years. So we have a tablet that's almost 40,000 years old, and maybe more, but those that are in the know says it's almost 40,000 years old, right? And we first heard about it in a book in the 6th or the 8th century AD, not BC, no, not BC, yesterday. That's the first time we just heard about it. Nothing wrong. I mean, there's a lot of things we have just, quote unquote, discovered that have been there a long time. Fair enough, but I'm just trying to put everything together. All right. The book that spoke of it mystically was a book written in Arabic. But it says that the original tablets were written in Phoenician. Follow me, this is classy. Right. That's the tablet that people would hold up, Phoenician. All right. But yet still, it is also said, and this is recorded here, the oldest documentable source of the text is the Kitab, Balanius al-Hakim fil Lial. So you have another text that is said to be, well, it would have been older than the Emerald tablets as we know it. As we know it. And I don't mean it was over 40,000 years old. This is a book just 1,000+ years old as well. And this is said to be the source of the text for the now Emerald tablets. Not me saying it. That is what the book of Balanios the Wise on the causes, or the book of the secret of creation and the nature of reality. And it's written in Arabic between the 6th and the 8th century. So that book is written in Arabic between the 6th and the 8th century. Follow me good, please. The Kitab is written in Arabic in the 6th and the 8th century. And the Emerald tablet was first mentioned between the 6th and the 8th century in another book written in Arabic. And the Emerald tablets, when discovered, is said to have been in the Phoenician language. But now we're getting information from other Arabic sources telling you, well, really, that book that you're all talking, that tablet stuff, the source of that text is another Arabic book that we have here, again, written between the 6th and the 8th century. No discussion here at all about 40,000 years old, because we're dealing with, although, you know, get me good, although because someone has evidence doesn't mean they have the facts. Evidence just means you have something that you could bring to the table to try and prove your case. That's what evidence is, because both sides have evidence. You know, let's hear your evidence. Let's hear his evidence. Yeah. You present your evidence for me, please. Yeah, present your evidence. But who have the facts? But at least you will agree. Please, my audience, listen to me good. There's a reason why I'm doing this. I like these sort of discussions. You know, it makes us a bit more grounded in our thought. You don't lose the essence of the cosmos. You know, obviously you could see I'm a cosmos being, cosmic and cosmos being. But it's important that you stay grounded. You may say, what do you mean? Well, I mean evidence now, maybe not the facts, but you could obviously see there is a scholarly discussion taking place here as it relates to the origin of the Emrald tablets. A very scholarly date, time, references, sources. But it's 40,000 years old. It was written by Thoth on Atlantis. And when Atlantis sank, Thoth came and built the pyramids in Egypt. You know, some of that story I wouldn't doubt. Maybe there's aspects of it I would kind of question. That's just me. But where's the evidence for this now? No, I'm very serious. Where's the evidence for this? You can go in people's book today and read it, but I mean, differently than the modern day writers. What records do you have to prove anything that you just said here? Yeah, man. It's people. It's Edgar Casey and Nostradamus, and listen to me. I'll be clear, you know. I'm not even disrespecting Edgar Casey or whoever else, much less the idea of the great god Thoth and Atlantis. I mean, have you read the book Anu, Ancient and Modern? One of my claims is where I am now is the top of Atlantis that has sunk, and I prove it in the book. Well, I bring my evidence to the table in the book. I will leave it at that. Why? Because the esoteric evidences. So it's not like carbon 14 and look at the date on this, you know. So it's a next level altogether. So I can work with the Atlantis vibration, and I definitely work with the Tahuti vibes as well. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about Jahuti, the great god Thoth. Yeah, I'm one with him. And Atlantis and all of that. I could work with you, yo. I could rock with you. Not a disbeliever. Yeah. But what I'm saying still, I mean, even that, you have understanding of that. And you don't have to believe in that. Just take a dive under the ocean and check the marine records, and you have structures under the sea. That is why I could equate Antigua to the top of Atlantis, outside of the esoterics, but just its makeup. The island chain, Bahamas, the megaliths. And again, you swim and you go down and swim around Cuba, Jamaica, and Haiti, and many different places. Same Bahamas again. You find sunken cities. Dr. Ray Brown said that swimming in that area there in the Bermuda Triangle, he came across pyramids under the earth, and he gave a whole story about that. So whether you believe in Mu or Atlantis, you must admit that the earth is a mystic place, and it is alive, and continents rise and continents fall, and islands rise and islands fall. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. It's just natural. We're speaking about the volcanic activities taking place now in our southern sister island, Dominica. Dominica has the most volcanoes concentrated in one country. Dominica, a little island, Dominica. One island between where I am and Dominica. And the volcano, like it waking up in Dominica. Waiti Kabuli, that's the name that was given to it, or the names that was utilized by the inhabitants that were here before Combustus and these fellas came along. So yeah, so understanding that, you know, the Atlantis and everything, although there are many that disagree with it, whether it was called Atlantis or not, the point is, I think we have good evidence to show that there were civilization and landmass, with civilization on the landmass that was above the sea, in our close proximity, not too far out into the ocean. And because the evidence can be seen under the sea, point blank. Whether you think it was Atlantis or not, something was above ground that is underwater now. And you can find that in different parts of the earth, in Japan and these different places, which then now gives light to the whole sinking of the continent of Mu now. And again, I would say that even if you may not want to apply that story as it relates to Mu, although you have discovered the natal tablets that speak of the sinking of Mu, but outside of that, even if you may not want to apply something to Mu itself as we know of Mu, but the point is they were landmass, again, landmass above the water, whether it be islands, great islands or continents, and they are now under the water, and we have the evidence to show pyramids and cities basically under the water. So I say that to say that there's more than meets the eye. And sometimes we should take our own time to do our due diligence as it relates to research. So I'm with that. I'm an Atlantis man. I'm an Atlantis fan, brother. What are you talking about? But now, let's get back to the question at hand. Tahuti wrote the Emerald tablets 40,000 years ago in Atlantis. And before it sank, and we heard a little story about the tablet that went to Egypt and was in Egypt for a while, and it went to the Mayans, and they took the science for a while, and it went somewhere else. Okay, good. Wow, good stuff. The records for this. Now, of course, remember, in Africa, we are individuals that deal with the science of the griot, meaning we don't write down everything. We pass down the knowledge from one generation to the other generation to the other generation. So you need not to be afraid. Maybe that's how that knowledge came to you, but most people don't know. People just repeat it, and you say, give me the facts on that. Well, I heard Jordan Maxwell talking about it. You see, you can't just be heard in. I purposely said it like that. You heard Jordan Maxwell speaking about it, but what proof? What's the proof? Is it just an idea? Jordan Maxwell may have just been expressing an idea that some cultures move with. Now, I'm going to show you why we carry it to this level. I'm bringing it home now. I'm going to show you why I actually did this program and why I went through all what I went through there just to bring a balance. And this is why I'm saying that I've read the book, that the translation of the tablets, and I've been around the tablets over, you know, let's say the 2 decades that I've been in consciousness. Read several books, not several books, come on. I've read many books, several. Nah, man, we've read a lot of books and been around a lot of books from all our scholarly authors and writers and professors. And so, yeah, we understand certain things within the realm. So the Emerald tablets is something we are familiar with. That's the point I'm trying to make. And we are impressed with it, and we could live by it. We don't have no problem with that. I'm not going to preach to nobody. Well, I don't preach, but I'm not going to, as if it's my mantra, that the Emerald tablets came from Atlantis, written by Tahuti, the god Thoth. You may say, why? Again, that is not concrete, for sure. And you have to keep in mind that the name, hear me good, the name that is on the tablet itself, the Emerald tablet, this is what we have been told. The name on the tablet was not Tahuti. The name on the tablet was not Thoth. The name on the tablet was Hermes Trismegistus. That is the name on the tablet. Now you may say, but Hermes is another form of Thoth. And I will tell you, Hermes is Greek. Greek and Roman and all kind of thing mixed up there, but it's primarily a Greek god. Hermes is a Greek god. Hermes, H-E-R-M-E-S, mess. Hermes is a Greek god. Just as weird and whatever as all the other Greek gods. We make a great distinction between Greek gods and the African Neter, the Neteru. So you cannot just tell me that this is the Greek version of this. It doesn't work so. This is why, please listen to me good. This is why when we talk about Orion, we distinguish, we make a distinct separation between Orion and Sahu. I will tell you that's the constellation of Sahu. And you may say, oh, I will just say Orion. I'm accustomed to say Orion. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Jesus, Yahshua, whatever. It's the same thing. Orion is just the name, the European name. No, it's not the European name. It's the European culture and the European philosophy. What? Orion is a hunter. When they draw Orion from the constellation to the image, Orion is seen with a club in his hand and a dead animal on his arm. He's a hunter. He clubs animals to death. But in the ancient philosophy, as you call it, Orion, which is Sahu, is seen with a sword, not a club. And where the animal over his arm is, it's not no animal, it's his shield. Orion that stands between the north and the south sky with the belt running through the equator, or the equator running through the belt. That is Sahu, the ruler of the heavens. Sahu, the risen Amsu. Sahu, the risen Asar, the Karis. Sahu. And all these words as if they have 4 letters. Sahu, Amsu, the Karis, KRST, QRST, UVWXYZ, the Karis, the Christ, and Asar, ASAR. Depending on how you spell it, it can be spelled differently. But the science is that it's not really Orion. Orion is the hunter. Orion has his own story. Orion is a different dude altogether. That's why I always say, listen, Jesus and even Yahshua, and I will just say Yahshua, because the Jesus character was taken from some characters that are even older than Yahshua. You're sure? I'm very sure. Asaru or Asar is Ashur. That's the real Yahshua, you know, the Ashur, the Asar that came Ashur. Ashur, the whole science of coming ashore. That's why all the gods are in their boat, ashore. Jonah was spit out of the fish and come ashore. You're sure? I'm sure Yahshua is the Asar, the ashore. So the Jesus character is not just an imitation of Yeshua, but bigger than that, before that. But this is what I'm saying. This is why people argue about the color of Christ and Jesus white and all of that. That's to show you you're dealing with two different characters. The Yeshua is a black African and Jesus is a Caucasian. Don't try to fight to turn Jesus black. And it's more than that. People say, oh, the color don't matter. It's not color we're talking about. The name alone is different. Two different beings. Jesus, Zeus, two different beings. They have different birthdays. One is the 25th of December and one will be the 7th of January. Two different birthdays. They were really born in two different places. One is said to have been born in Bethlehem, and according to the Bible, one was born in the city of David, which according to the Bible is somewhere to the west of the river Nile, according to the Bible. So they were both born in two different places. Somehow the Christian philosophy stresses that he had no physical father, but that is not necessarily proven within the scriptural book. So I'm just saying, these differences, you're dealing with two totally different people. One is born on this day, the other is born on the other day. One is a Caucasian and one is an African. I mean, one doesn't have a father and one has a father. One was born up here and the other was born down there. How are they the same person? How can you just tell me, well, this is just the European version of this? No, that's that's a totally different thing happening there. Now I say all of that to come back to Tahuti. When people tell me Hermes is just a Greek version of Tahuti, I find that as an insult. Hermes? Hermes, you trying to diss Tahuti? Jehuti, the great god Thoth, the god of wisdom, the ibis, I can put the spinach in the can and Popeye suck it out through his pipe. The great god of wisdom, and Shishat, his woman, the librarian, see her in the marijuana tree as the leaf is above her head. What Hermes is talking about? Some caveman with animal skin wrap around him, you comparing to Tahuti? Is Hermes' name on the emerald tablets in them? Let me tell you this. Hermes is not Tahuti. If Hermes is Tahuti to you, that is you. Hermes ain't no Tahuti to me. And let's be clear, if that tablet is the tablet that travel all around the world, how on earth Hermes' name get on that when that was written 40,000 years ago, when the Greeks that invented Hermes was not even nowhere on the scene? Hermes is a yesterday god. How Hermes' name get on the emerald? It's not me say so. It's not me say so. This is how the emerald tablets is attributed to Hermes, because his name on it. But because somebody tell us now that Hermes is Tahuti, I don't disagree that Hermes is a plagiarized version of Tahuti. I agree with that. Oh, I'm totally with you. And Orion is a plagiarized version of Sahut. And Jesus is a plagiarized, disrespected version of Yeshua. But Jesus ain't no Yeshua, you know what I mean? The Greek version. It's just English. We speak in English, so we just call him. No. That's a different story you're talking about. That's two different beings. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. That's two different people. Some kind of things that's come out my mouth. That's one thing. Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry. Where did that come from? I'm telling you. You know, so I'm just saying that. So if and I'm just following the script, I ain't arguing with nobody. I hope no one's offended. I'm just following the script. If the philosopher's stone or the not the Philosopher's Stone. The Emerald tablet is a genuine, authentic thing that was found in Anatolia there. That's Tyana in Anatolia. And when they found it and they read the wisdom, it is said that the name Hermes was mentioned in it. That's another thing, it's basically the mention of the name. And somehow, during the time of, the passage of time and wisdom increase and we start to regain certain knowledge, somehow we make a link with Hermes and Tahuti, which there is a link. But what is the link? Hermes is a bastardized version of the ancient god Tahuti. That's the only link. That's all it is. It's not as if this story about Tahuti putting down his flesh and returning as Hermes. No. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't give us that. Tahuti, yes, Tahuti come again in different forms. Sometimes the Tahuti you see is a fresh new Tahuti, that was born 40 years ago. And the next Tahuti was one of them old time Tahuti, but he come again. But he never come as no Hermes. Maybe one of the comings of Tahuti, these fellas took it and patterned it to create Hermes. That's how you need to look at it, or else you'll be confused. So if it's Hermes' name you found on the Emerald tablet, I'm not the keeper of the Emerald tablet. You sure this is the original? That's what they say. This is the piece of the original. Well, yeah, this is it. This from Atlantis. Yeah, that Emerald tablet that you discovered under the statue of Hermes too. What are you doing under there? Hermes seemed like he thieved it. Maybe Hermes thieved the tablet and somehow scratch out the god name, Tahuti, and put in his name. It got to be that. How that reach under his statue? Well, because he's the writer. Who right? This statue here, this fella here, with the animal skin wrapped around him, he is the writer. With the stick in his hand, and the stick in his hand have the double snake and the wings, which is Tahuti's symbol. Don't make that fool you, family. Tahuti is not no Hermes. Don't disrespect Tahuti. Tahuti is not Hermes. I'm telling you. Hermes is a bastardized version or corrupted version, bastardized version of Tahuti. And I'm going to repeat it again and make my point clear. So if it's Hermes' name, not Tahuti name, they said Hermes' name on the tablet. So where you going with that? Straight up. If that is the case, is Hermes' name on it? Yeah. You have another one? Well, no, this is the oldest version of it. Well, I mean, I can't help you. If it's one thing, and yeah, you may say there was another one. And in fact, I never hear nobody even raise that argument. It is as if this Emerald tablet is the Emerald tablet. Okay. Written by Hermes. 40,000 years ago? No, I can't buy that one. Trust me. If I'm missing something, you can let me know, but I would never buy that. I don't mean I wouldn't buy the book, In fact, I've bought it already. I mean the story to say, just to say, well, the Emerald tablets were written by Tahuti 40,000 years ago. All right, and I clearly stated, I'm going to repeat again. It doesn't mean that that is not true. I'm going to be clear. It doesn't mean that that is not so. But you got to understand your argument properly. Because the name on the discovered relic is the name of Hermes Trismegistus. And you cannot just simply tell me that, oh, well, Hermes Trismegistus is the reincarnation of Thoth, and then show me Hermes Trismegistus as who Hermes Trismegistus is. And then I'm supposed to just link that with Tahuti and say, well, yeah, man, this is the Emerald tablet written 40,000 years ago. Sorry, it doesn't work so. And that is why I took my time to explain that the discussion over the discovery of it, the discussion over the original language of it. We have books and manuscripts saying that, well, the Emerald tablet was not always like this. It was taken from another source, a book written in Arabic. And interestingly, when that happened, there was another book written in Arabic that was mentioned in the book that is said to be the source of the Emerald tablet. To me, all of this is very, very key and important information. Remember, it says, that the oldest documentable source of the text is the kitab, pardon me, Balan-Iyos al-Hikam fi Liyal. That's the oldest source of the book, it is said. And obviously, you could go to that book and read the book and see, okay, all right, the language is similar. And I would point out again the fact that other books of the same time were mentioning this writing here, the Emerald tablets as we know it today. It's quite interesting. So there are those that are claiming that it was originally written in Arabic, not the Phoenician. That's a translation of. Obviously, it's given a lot of anciency, but if you were to just take raw information and raw discovery and archaeology of this time, it seems to be a tablet that is maybe the most 2,000 years old. Could it be that it's just a copy of something more ancient that has gone back and back and back? But no, most people claim that that is the stone. They're not bound to no copy thing. This is the stone from Atlantis. Well, if that's the stone, Hermes Trismegistus' name should not be on that stone. That is my point. This is why you have to think clearly. And me as a scholar, and at times have to go into the debating arena, it is good to know exactly what you're talking about and be able to balance facts from fiction and not take the flavor out of the pot. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah Rastafari, I.